Hello and welcome to Total Channel. Today we are going to show you how to do a layout creation session. So your layout is really the template and what you're seeing when you're looking at your screen. Perhaps you want to have just full screen video playing, or maybe you want to have a little logo of your company in the bottom, or a text bar scrolling at the bottom, or whatever number of zones you might want to see on the screen. So the way you do that is we are logged into a Total Channel demo server. So whether you have your own server or you're using Total Channel server, this is what your dashboard looks like. And that's where it's always going to just dump you in the dashboard. So under this little section here, this is where you navigate everything. We're going to go to locations and we're going to click on layouts and designs. Now, this just shows you every layout that you have created that lives within your server. So at any point in time, if you want to do this layout or you want to do this layout, you can select that and go assign it to a player in your network. But if you wanted to create a new layout, you can do that in a couple ways. You can select right here to create a new layout, or this is just kind of a nice little quick tab up here that says create new layout. So once you've clicked create new layout, you're going to give it a name. So maybe today we'll call this TC test. And now you have to decide, okay, what size of screen am I creating this layout for? Is it just a standard 1920 by 1080? Maybe it's a 4K screen. There's lots of options on this drop-down menu, but perhaps it's a custom screen. Maybe this is a big LED or video wall of some sort. You can always type in whatever pixels you want. One of the great features of Total Channel is you get the ability to do full pixel mapping in any height or width that you want. There's another great feature too. If you're going to do a multi-screen, maybe you have a 2x2 LCD wall. You can always click this little button there that said multi-screen, and then you can define what's in that screen. Is it, as we said, a 2x2 horizontal and vertical screens, and maybe all of those screens are 1920 by 1080. Right. And then you can decide whether you want something in the background as you're creating this or an overlay. But for now, let's just hit save so you can kind of see what this does for you. What I like is that it does the actual math for you. And it also gives you your little hashtags of where your bezel lines will be. So when you're doing multi-screen, if it's LCD, for example, in this format that we've selected, it's just a nice way to kind of see where you're going when you start adding these zones and these different things. But for today's test, maybe we'll just keep it simple and we will say that this is a 1920 by 1080 screen, right? And then this is where we can decide, is there any kind of background image or overlay that we might want to see underneath our zones that we're going to create? So if we wanted to say, you know what, I think I'd like to have a background image, that can come from one of our content creation tools that lives within the system or a URL. Today, I'm just going to select a file, right? Because I know that I have some files already available to me. And I'm going to go say file, new, and I'm just going to go choose a file from my computer here. So let's say we'll use this specific background here. We just select it. And then same goes for our overlay, right? Maybe I want my company logo in the corner. Maybe I really want that broadcast look and feel. So today we'll do just like we said before, we'll say new, we'll go choose a file. And for my overlay, I think I have a couple nice ones here, but of course, I'm at Total Channel, so I'm selecting a Total Channel overlay. Of course, yours can be anything that you want. But once we click this save button, it's going to kind of show us that background, that overlay, everything that we've really set up as our parameters here, you'll now see down here. So this is our little overlay where I've said, hey, no matter what's playing on the screen, no matter how many zones I've created, I'd like my Total Channel logo or whatever my corporate logo is to be on the screen at all times. So it's always going to start with at least one zone here. It's going to be your main media zone. And you can just pull and drag this to be any size. So maybe you want this layout to just be full screen images. You can drag this to be full screen and everything you put in can play. Obviously, you could type in 1920 by 1080 and it would be exact, but just kind of giving you an idea of what you can do to play around and make these really be sort of the size that you want. For today, let's create a 4 or 3 zone layout. So how it works is you always get that main media as your first one, and then you can create section names or you can use this little drop down menu, and you're basically just going to click this add button every time you want to add a different zone once you've decided what you want to call it. So let's add a side banner, and it's going to go kind of quick, but when you see as I'm adding zones, it's going to stack up down here and create a list for me. So maybe I also want to add a bottom banner. And maybe that's enough for today, right? We'll just have a 3-zone layout. So again, you can see if you've got a specific marketing person or branding guidelines, or you know the exact pixel size you want something to be, as you create this, you can do like I do, who's not a graphic artist, and just drag them where you want. Or you'll notice as I drag these, the banners and numbers just change based on what I want. So if you knew, again, your marketing team knew they wanted this exactly a specific size, you could certainly put it there. So let's say that we love this layout. It's exactly what we want. We're going to click this little update all button, and that kind of locks your zones into place, and you're done. You just have to hit the save button. Now, what you can do is you can just save this, and then it will be another layout in your design. But for today, I'm going to go ahead and assign this to a player as well, so that in the next step, when we create an actual playlist, it will have somewhere to go. So I'm just going to send this out to Lisa's demo player and click save. So now what I've done is I've created a layout. I've pushed it out to a player. And if we go back here to our layouts and designs, you can see TC test. This is it. So this is now a layout that I can push out to multiple different screens, a single screen, whatever you want to. So hopefully that was helpful, and thank you for learning how to create a layout. Thank you.